Hello everybody, and welcome back to DC Universe Online with me and Blind Vine. And I got a little carried away with the base. I spent the last couple days getting base items for the base because I wanted it to be plant themed. And I think, well, I'm not really done with it. I gotta be honest. I really want the springtime event to come soon, so that I can get some of the planters and grass and stuff to add to this place. But so far, looking kind of cool. A lot of plants. I want to get rid of the rocks, mostly, because I don't think there would be a lot of rocks in here, but you never know. I mean, got some upgrades to the den, I guess. Kind of the chill area. And then I'm also working on down here an armory, which is slowly coming together. It's kind of like all the equipment, kind of like a more command center-y area with my suit. And then over here, just like a massive array of armory. But I really need gun lockers. And I know I asked you guys for filing cabinets when I was doing Levi. And I know this is a top order, since gun cabinets go for like $1 million or at least 500,000 on the broker. But if you guys happen to come across some gun cabinets and you really don't want them, I will be willing to take them off your hand. And if you want something in return, just let me know. But yeah, that's just throwing that out to you guys, if you want to do that. Besides that, we have a lot of missions to do. And I have a lot of things to talk about. Because holy balls, some crazy stuff has happened. Let's get the mission started. Ooh, what did I get? I got some stuff from the vault a little bit ago. I'll take the canopy, why not? Nope, don't need that. I need to use that when I get to there, if I can. Or if it's worth it to me. Alright, let's get to this mission. So, we have Chicanta and we have... Let's do Mr. Freeze.
The star sapphire's crystals are gems of great power.
Ooh.
Fueled by love.
Oh.
There is no greater love in the universe than that which I have for my Nora. I am certain if I were to replace my diamonds with these crystals,
never mind, we're not doing Cold Hearts. That's the seasonal event. Screw that, we're not doing that.
Cersei promised Giganta she could transfer her consciousness into Wonder Girl's body. Wonder Woman and her Amazons are trying to stop it. Go hit up Brother Blood in the safe house for more info.
Okie dokie. So I don't want this episode to be entirely spoiler, but it's probably gonna be. I really before stuff came about, I was gonna talk about on the forums in the like dev talk section, whatever you call it. They put up a new post talking about how they're going to get rid of the combat rating system in favor of focusing on stats like it used to be. But I think I'm going to save that for next time because I really want to kind of go into a little bit more about that. Unless we have time this episode, which it'll be at the end. Visit each of the nightclubs. Yay! But I gotta talk to you guys. So, whoosh, spoilers. There's gonna be spoilers this episode. So I apologize if you haven't seen Tuesday night's episode of The Flash, last night's episode of The Flash, whenever this comes out. Let's get this started.
Hello, and welcome to the Booster Gold
we don't need that. We need
this adventure will
this
take you to the
person.
Chinatown district of
Brother
Metropolis.
Blood.
I'm Booster.
Our champion against fate.
Thanks, bro, Blood.
Cersei has need of you in the Tomorrow District. She and Giganta have a plan for Wonder Girl. Get down there and show the Amazons what happens when they meddle.
I guess we'll go with critical for now. All right. So there's going to be a lot of spoilers, like big spoilers. So I apologize ahead of time, but I got to talk about this, guys. I got to talk about it. It's amazing. So Tuesday night's episode of The Flash wasn't really a big episode in it. Well, it kind of was, but not for the right reasons. It wasn't the biggest episode because mostly the episode just consisted around Barry trying to befriend Wally, and then King Shark got out, and Barry was dealing with the fact that on Earth 2 he saw Joe die and had to deal with Iris and his mom and all that stuff, and he wasn't...
The Amazons have defied me, their rightful goddess, to follow Wonder Woman. As punishment, I have kidnapped Wonder Girl and given her to Giganta.
Oh.
Once Giganta's mind inhabits Wonder Girl's body, then we'll see who the Amazons truly love the
Isn't there
most.
a thingy around here?
Punish them all for daring to interfere.
Guess not. Guess there's no side mission. Anyway, so he was dealing with that whole thing. So that was really what most of the episode was about, was Barry dealing with having been on Earth 2 and, you know, having all these crazy situations happen to him. Ooh, lockbox. What's inside the lockbox? Lockbox. Ooh, long shoulders. I'll take those. But it was not the greatest episode in the world, following the events that happened previously.
Likely self-inflicted.
But at the very end of the episode, and this is the most important bit of the episode, and I wonder if I should save it for the end and talk about my theories and things. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it in that order. That way I don't totally ruin it. But on the last episode, I told you guys about what happened previously. There was a man inside a cage on Earth 2. We weren't really sure who he was, and he was being held inside a carbonite cage, as was Barry. And they were talking to him and trying to get information out of him. And they found out that he was spelling out J to them. When they mentioned Jay's name, and they're like, he's still alive. He shook his head. No, like something's wrong. Or something bad happened. And so I had a couple different theories. One of them was a little bit crazy, but now I'm starting to think it might not be so crazy. But I think I just kind of got lost in my own thoughts while decorating and just wasn't thinking quite clear enough. But my first theory was that the Jay that we know, Jay Garrick, in the TV show, is not Jay Garrick. Because there's a point where he shows Caitlin, quote-unquote, Hunter Zolomon, and says, this is Hunter Zolomon. When I came here, I thought that he would be the person that, if I used his genes, then I could become the person that I am. And I had thought previously that he mentioned that he doesn't have exobyte power, or not exobyte. He doesn't have powers given to him by the reactor exploding. So I was thinking, you know, that's what I thought, that he didn't have them, but he never mentions that he doesn't have them. He just said that the only way to get his powers back is to find Zoom and defeat Zoom. Now, it's very complicated what's going on. And one reason I think I love the show is because they have this overarching mystery. And if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan in trying to, like, figure out what the mystery is, and I get super involved with it. So yeah, I'm super involved with this theory of whatever it might be. but I theorized that the Jay that we know is not Jay, and he's actually Hunter Solomon, and he's here trying to get Barry's speed so that he can get his powers back, just like what happened with Eobard Thawne. When he came to Earth 1, he lost all his powers, and had to try to find a way to get them back by using Barry. Now, that would seem like kind of a mediocre story, wouldn't it? You know, the same idea that he's trying to do it, but then it was that the main story was that Zoom wanted to be the fastest speedster, and then he was trying to take Barry's power. Everyone seems to want Barry's power. That doesn't have anything to do with this. It's just I'm pointing that out. Everyone wants his power. I don't know why they all want his power. I guess because he's the best. But that's to be seen yet. We haven't seen him at his full power, really. I don't think. Not the way he is. Especially since in not the last episode, but the episode before that, I think. Barry, for the first time, figures out how to vibrate his molecules through objects. So yeah, that was the thing. Where was I? Okay, yeah. So my original theory was that Jay was actually Hunter Solomon Zoom, and he was, for whatever reason, I think the biggest thing that they pointed out with Jay was that his cells were deteriorating, and he was basically dying from not having the Speed Force, and because he had used high velocity, whatever number it might have been, but he was a chemical sort of thing to just make him go faster than he normally could. So that was the idea, that he was sick and he's dying from that. But I'm wondering if that's not the case. I wonder if, let's say, Jay is Zoom. Let's say Jay is Zoom. And his sickness is from something else, and he needs more Speed Force, or actually needs Speed Force because he doesn't technically actually have Speed Force in his body to repair it and stop it from killing him. Now, should I? Yeah, I'm gonna spoil it. So at the very end of this last night's episode, they show the guy in the cage, the masked man, and he's terrified. He's so terrified. Zoom comes back, and he has Jay's body. And he throws him on the ground, pulls off his mask, and who is it? It's maybe Jay or maybe Hunter Solomon, since they look the same. We don't know who it might be, but it's one of them. And I'm leaning towards that it's actually Hunter Solomon, and he's from Earth 1. And he went to Earth 2 for whatever reason. Maybe to just take out Jay Garrick. And kind of did. And now he's actually possibly killed Jay Garrick. This leaves open a lot of possibilities for things that could actually happen. Let me get this guy. Then we'll continue on with the next mission.
Always wanted to have the power of an Amazon princess. And Cersei plans to give it to her. Sounds like a large undertaking.
Yes, it does. No story? Oh, there it is.
Anyone who refuses to serve me is dumber than a beast. There's an idea. Seek out General Minos. He has something that will suit this situation.
Really? Okay. Whatever your mission was. Fantastic. You know, it's a good thing that Blind Vine is an assassin for hire, because otherwise none of this would make any sense for him to be doing any of it. Anyway, back to the story. So this leaves open a lot of things that could be happening. And it still leaves everything in the balance. Because the problem is, we still don't know who the guy in the mask is. And I'm theorizing it could be probably one of three people. The first one would be that it's Jay Garrick himself. And that's why he was so upset. He's like, no, I'm Jay Garrick. I'm the one. I'm the real one. That one is fake. That one is fake. That's what I'm theorizing. A little bit more interesting could be that it is Wally West, but I don't think it's Wally because I don't think the character matches him. It might be him. Well, I think there's a scene where he has blonde hair sticking out the back of the helmet, so I don't think that it's Wally. I don't know if that would make much sense. But it could, because they introduce Wally and they don't mention anything about him having superpowers or anything, so maybe this is like the Earth 2 counterpart and he has powers, whereas the Earth 1 does not have Speed Force powers. But again, we still don't know who he is. And then the last one is that it's possibly Eddie-thon. Or it might be Eobard-thon. You never know. It could be one of them. I doubt it's Eobard, but it could be Eddie-thon. And he has exabyte powers, or for some reason he's in there. But that's... I feel like that one would be a little outlandish. But again, you know, they might want to bring the character back and make him another character in the series again for whatever reason. So it could be him, it could be Jay, and it could be Wally. But I have nothing to go on with Wally, and I have nothing to go on with Eddie. So I'm still theorizing that it's probably Jay, the original Jay. And if I'm thinking that way, then possibly he's trying to tell him that the Jay Garrick that they know is not really Jay Garrick. Might be a fake. And when I saw that, then I was thinking, okay, somewhere in the comics, because generally the overarching story so far with The Flash has been based on stories that have been told before in the comics to kind of keep it grounded. Like the first season was, the main overarching story was that Eobard-thon, which actually I think it was Zoom, the original, you know, Hunter Zolomon, that wanted to destroy Barry Allen's life by killing his parents and causing all that mayhem. But in turn, he actually created the Flash and so on and so forth. Anyway, so I'm like, this one's got to be buried somewhere or grounded somewhere in the stories. So I looked it up. And there's actually, after Infinite Crisis in the comics, there was a string of comics called 1 Year Later, where they followed the stories of heroes and villains and saw where they were after Infinite Crisis. And this was around the time when they were switching over to the New 52, I believe. Man, I just need to get my powers going. There you go. I didn't get the beastie mark, which is sad. So I was curious about that. I'm like, oh, okay. So what's the story in year one? And it deals with the Outsiders, which is led by Nightwing. And basically in the story, there's a clone of Jay Garrick, who is basically Zoom. And he's sent to kind of assassinate the Outsiders. And then they find out that there's a cloning facility full of other clones. And there's a problem with these clones. They all have like a clone degenerative virus that will kill them. So, back to the idea that Jay Garrick, the Earth 2 Jay Garrick that we got to meet and learn all about, and they got attached to, could he possibly be another clone? Because that means that there is 3 Jay Garricks, technically. There would be the Jay Garrick or Hunter Zolomon that is Zoom. there is Hunter Zolomon on Earth 1, which could still be the same Hunter Zolomon. And there's the dead Jay Garrick. There could also be another one. The one in the mask, which could be the original Jay Garrick. So many options. But anyway, so the Jay Garrick, the one that we got to learn about, that we got to know, he's dying from a disease or something that's killing him. And he doesn't have his superpowers. He doesn't have the Speed Force. So what if, and I know it's crazy, and I said it was crazy last time, that there be clones. But this seems like the only story that really makes sense to me. What if Zoom somehow on Earth 2, he's created clones, or maybe it's the Earth 1 Hunter Zolomon Zoom, and he's created clones. What if he's trying to gain all the Speed Force? Because if you know Zoom's, the actual Zoom's story, he doesn't actually have the Speed Force in his system. He has a different sort of power that allows him to, he's the one who is able to bend time around him rather than actually traveling through time, or, you know, in speed. He doesn't actually move fast. He makes the time around him move faster or slower depending on what he wants. So what if he is sick? What if this one, since he's a clone of Jay Garrick and doesn't actually have Jay Garrick's powers for whatever reason, is trying to get Speed Force so that he can, I still need to get one more Beastie Morph, okay. He's trying to get the Speed Force so that he can heal himself so he doesn't die. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think, but there's so many Jay Garricks that I don't know which one's the real one.
Aw, aren't they cute? Giganta says the ritual is almost ready. Have fun storming the castle.
So yeah, I'm thinking that possibly Jay Garrick is alive and he's the man in the mask. Hunter Zolomon is the one that we've seen on Earth 1 who doesn't currently have powers, and maybe he'll come into the story later on. And if you know Hunter Zolomon's story, he is like a detective or a cop, and
my bestiamorphs have erected Sisyphean stones outside the station to create a magical ward, but the Amazons have corrupted them. It's affecting Giganta's ritual inside. Stop the Amazons and destroy those stones.
Okie dokie. He was a cop and he lost the use of his legs. So he tries to get Wally to go back in time and save him from losing his legs. And Wally refuses and says he can't mess with the time stream. It caused too many problems if he goes back and does that, and he's furious at it. So he tries to replicate the Flash's accident and using the cosmic treadmill to try to get Flash powers. Ends up exploding and blowing up the museum, and he ends up getting his current powers. So maybe the Earth 1 Hunter Zolomon will become Zoom at some point, or maybe they're just pointing out that he could become Zoom. And this version is not actually Zoom. It's a version of Jay Garrick, even though they look the same, which kind of muddles everything anyway.
This fang could aid the Sentinels of Magic's restorative incantations.
But the Zoom that we know, or that we've seen now, that's been unveiled to us, could be just a clone of Jay Garrick that doesn't have Jay Garrick's memories, but realizes that he's dying from this clone degenerative disease. and sent in another clone to try to get them to try to cure it, so that he could actually get that. And all the while, he's trying to collect Speed Force from Barry to keep himself from dying while this whole process happens. And he has Jay Garrick tied up, and possibly he's taking Jay Garrick's powers, because it's obvious that he can't go through the walls. Or he still has his powers, and that's another reason why he was trying to get Wells to take powers from Barry, because he was trying to find a way to take Jay's power as well. But Jay's not powerful enough as Barry is, or as powerful as Barry is. So he can't, like, vibrate his molecules through the glass or anything like that for whatever reason. Because possibly he's... I don't know, maybe he's from Earth. No, he would be from Earth too, probably. Yeah, I'm thinking that. If he's the man in the mask, if Jay is the man in the mask, the original Jay Garrick is the one, the man in the mask. Because, and the reason I'm thinking that Jay is possibly the man in the mask that's locked inside there is because when we first, we got a new power finally, yay! When we first meet Jay, he tells them that he got in a fight with Zoom, and he suddenly got sucked through the vortex and sent to Earth 1, and in the process, Zoom somehow took his powers, which seems very flimsy in my eyes. Oh, and somebody mentioned that I should get into the fauna tree. I'm gonna wait until I finish up the flora tree, and then I'll go over to the fauna tree. So don't worry, I'll get over there. I just want to get that power so that I have the first half of the loadout. Because if I have the first half, then I can get to the second half a lot faster, and I'll just deal more damage in general. It'd be nicer. Anyway, so there's that, and then this will end up being... Stop it! Let's try this out. Oh, I guess I was in combat, so that didn't work out so well. Get somewhere where I'm not in combat. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. There we go. That should work out better. Give that a shot and see how it works. Yeah. Ooh, that's very strong now. Now, unfortunately, healer is, or nature isn't like one of the most strong powers when it comes to DPS. It's better as a healer power, so we're not going to deal like crazy amounts of damage with the advanced mechanic. But yeah. Anyway, going back to the Flash and everything, just to finish it up. So Zoom is actually a clone, and it would kind of match because in the 1 year later, his suit's all black and he has red eyes and he's evil and dark and sinister. And the actual Zoom, his suit is just the Zoom suit where his eyes are red and it's all yellow and black. So it would match a little bit more of that story. That's why his suit's all black. Yeah, I think that matches up, and I think that would be pretty cool, because now, if it brings in cloning, that means we might get Superboy. And that would be freaking awesome if they brought Superboy into the series. Or if they connected it with Supergirl and brought Superboy in that way. Because they're already doing a crossover episode, so they might continue that process and be like, hey, we're bringing in Superboy. We could have him in our world and your world as just a side character. And then after that, maybe they could bring in like the Teen Titans show that they were going to make on TNT or something like that. And instead, the Berlanti universe makes that. I think that would be freaking awesome. Since they're if they bring in clones, There's nothing to show that they have brought in clones yet. I just want to make that point here. I'm just saying that's what makes the most sense to me, is that he's actually a clone and not the actual Jay Garrick or the actual Hunter Zolomon. The Hunter Zolomon is on Earth 1, as we've seen. Perhaps even he has powers, and we don't know. They just said he doesn't. I don't know why I'm killing all these people. I just kind of wanted to try out my advanced mechanic. There you go. It's not bad. It's not very strong, though. But it does deal a lot of ticks, so that's kind of good. Anyway, so yeah, that's my theory. Let me know what you guys think. A lot of you guys commented all sorts of things. It could be Mercury, but it wasn't. It was all Jay Garrick. Mostly the theories were about who Zoom actually is. Mostly. But I'm very interested in this story because now they just dropped a bombshell on everyone. Even though I kind of figured it. Because they pointed so much in that direction. And I already had theorized that Jay was actually Zoom and not really Jay. But then they threw like all sorts of other bombs in there. Oh, and in that same scene, Zoom doesn't say, well, that's the end of that. Or, we need to find another way. Or, I guess you're free, masked man. He says, well, this is a complication. So clearly he has a plan B. Which every good villain should have a plan B. If you don't have a plan B, what kind of villain are you? Honestly. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with that whole situation. With the Hunter Zolomon Zoom story. Ooh, run away, no! I got it, I think. Yep. I think that's that. Whee! You can't catch me, I'm amazing. There's a glowy up here too. Yay! I think I might put like a little link to skip the spoiler stuff at the beginning, but I'm not sure if I'll have a chance to do that.
Operate in Metropolis against a possible occult threat. These are armed woman warriors, people, with an ironclad culture of honor in combat, so don't cross them.
That gigantic greedy fool! She is toying with my ritual, hoping to gain more power. She will only succeed in giving Wonder Girl more of her own. You must salvage this situation. We cannot give the Amazons yet another weapon against us.
Alright. Whatever. It's not like it's my fault.
Current transit time is 4 minutes. Don't drown in traffic. Ride the rail whale.
Ride the rail whale. The whale rail.
Circe wants mirror of Narcissus. Amazon leader house.
I get it? I get that mission?
Go and take it.
Alright, I guess I got it. Whatever. Let's see. Collections. Big Anta. Let's do that. Anyway, enough of that. So yeah, that's my theory on it. I don't know if it's right at all because they just keep throwing things at us. But the man in the mask keeps everything sort of a mystery because we don't know who he is. And we don't know if... Because they never say, oh, you're Jay Garrick, or, oh, you're Hunter Zolomon. You're just the guy that looks like both of them. And they both look the same! They're so good, though. They're very good at, like, pulling the strings and leading us one way and then targeting a different direction. It's so crazy. I love it. It's awesome. But we got a lot of time left in this episode. I didn't think we would, because I thought that would last a lot longer, me going through all my theories and everything. Clearly, I wasn't that smart. But I quickly want to talk about... one thing. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Swag Ninja. Swag Ninja 019. He mentioned in the comments the possibility of me doing a rage character. And I wanted to kind of give him a little shout out for coming up with a really cool story. The problem is I just I really appreciate every time you guys give me character ideas, because you know, it does help me think of characters that I could possibly do for the series and stuff. But all in all, I really just don't care for rage powers. I do apologize, and I know a lot of people really want me to do rage, but I just don't really like the power. And it's been so janky in the past, even though it's getting another upgrade or another revamp right now. I don't think I'm gonna do rage unless, you know, after all the powers that I already decided to do, if it's good, then maybe I'll look at it. But all in all, it's just not really a power I like or that I'm interested. The same goes for hard light. I'm just not really interested in those powers. So I really appreciate anytime you guys give me stories. It's very cool hearing your stories, but I'd like you guys to make those characters, because those are your guys' ideas, and I don't want to steal those ideas from you. The only thing I really would borrow, for instance, with Nick, I did skimming, or no, I didn't do skimming. I did super speed and atomic, and that was asked for. That's the only thing I really would borrow, is like the type of character you guys would want me to make. Kind of, you know what I mean? Like the different power things. I really wouldn't want to take like names from you or backstories, because they're your characters. It's hard taking somebody else's character and running with it, for me at least. It's just not necessarily what I'm into. I prefer to come up with my own character ideas and give them their own personalities and things like that. So yeah, if you guys come up with a character, make that character, because you guys have some awesome ideas for characters, and I love hearing about them. But I don't want to steal your guys' ideas, even if you're offering them to me. It just doesn't work for me, and I think that character would be better in your guys' hands than in mine. So yeah, make those characters if you want. I think they'd be cool to see them in game or something like that. You know, the ones that you guys mentioned to me. So yeah, thank you guys for all the ideas and things like that. But yeah, so yeah, there's that. Also, the big bombshell that the Daybreak guys dropped on us, that they want to do away with the combat rating system, which is so strange. I don't know why they want to do that, since they just put it in like recently. It's very strange. They keep recently, it seems like they're seeing all the things that they've done. Like, I don't even know. I guess it's kind of like all the things that they did previously were to test out these different tactics or something that would work for the game. And they saw that some things didn't quite work out, or that they weren't exactly pleasing to the fans. One thing that they're trying to do is basically like bring PvP back to what it used to be, which is kind of funny, because they changed it because everyone was whining about it being broken, and then they changed it, and now anyway. But yeah, it seems like they're trying to reverse some things. So like the combat rating thing, I'm really a big fan of this, because one thing is, I've always, even when like the combat rating thing came, I only followed it because nobody else would raid with me otherwise on a normal basis. But I really do, like, when it comes to Quantaic, I really mostly care about getting my might up. When I see that number go up and I'm like, Yeah, right now, I know it's not as high as it could be. I know a lot of you guys have higher might than I do, but 11,600 feels very good for me. So, just saying that. Feels really good to me to have 11,600 might on Quantaic. And so that's something I really focus on. And, you know, I've been trying to get skill points, which are super important. And that was something that people really cared about back in the day. Like, how many skill points do you have? Stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited that they're focusing on your stats now. Because combat rating, you could have a really high combat rating, but you don't know your character very well. You have no skill points. I'm not the biggest proponent of skill points. I gotta be honest. Like, the people that are like, I only raid with people with 240 skill points or some shit like that. You guys need to hold your horses, because just because a guy has that doesn't mean that he didn't buy his account. You know, I see that all the time. Not naming anybody. I'm just saying that I've seen it a lot, that people will buy other people's accounts, and just because they're too lazy to do that stuff, that doesn't count. You didn't spend 6 hours trying to get into a group, and then when you got into that group to do the prime, what is it, the paradox wave, whatever that stupid feat is, that is super hard to get unless you have the right group. Anyway, it don't matter. I don't really care about that feat. But yeah, I mean, it just, the people that freak out and they're like, you don't have this much, it's silly, because you might be getting a really shitty player anyway if that's all you're focusing on. Yeah, to be honest. But anyway, when it comes to stats, I really do care about that, because a lot of people don't focus on the right stats. I'm kind of one of them. Not saying I don't focus on critical attack like I should, but that's mostly through the skill points thing and not like my actual skills and stuff like that. But with mods and things, I mostly focus on might, because all the attacks I'm going to be doing are might based, and I want as much might as I can to deal as much of that heavy hitting damage.
To the glorious moment when Giganta becomes a goddess.
Ugh.
Something's wrong. My powers are slipping away.
Oh no!
Oh!
Super Wonder Girl.
Stealing the power of Olympus isn't something the gods take lightly. Of course, you screwing up Circe's spell.
Let's pop some of these crystals, because they seem to be the problem here. But yeah, I'm very much on the side of bringing it back to what it used to be, not focusing on who has the higher combat rating. I only take 150s in. I only take 156 in my group for rating. It's stupid. If the people that you're pulling in don't have any skill points, and they don't have any mods, and they don't focus on any of the other stuff that you can get for your character, and they don't know what their advanced mechanic or any of their mechanics are, then it doesn't matter what their combat rating is. You're still getting a garbage player. So yeah, I'm just saying, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of it.
I will pummel you.
Let's get some of that thorniness in here. I'm all out of power, but it doesn't seem like a problem. Giganta, talk to me! Oh. Well, never mind. Cutscene!
I hate liars. Anyone who cheats, or steals, or tries to push other people around, or make you do what they want just because they're stronger. But I especially hate when they try to make the whole world like they are, using their lies to make people into slaves. That's when I have to get all Amazon on their ass. Hey, it's true that might doesn't make right, but sometimes It sure helps.
Wow, was that on point? Holy balls, was that on point for what I was just talking about. If you guys didn't catch it, well, then you weren't listening to me. But you did, then you understood all that. That was cool. That was perfect.
The incantation on this scale is dark magic indeed.
Let's see, what do we get? Colorful bowed funhouse curtains. I'll hold off on that. Ooh, nice ring. Ding. Oh, I didn't go in. Yeah. Bing. Is it too high for me? I don't know what that was about. But, okay. Very strange. I'll have to figure out why that's happening. Probably another glitch or something with the gear like last time or a few times before. Ooh, actually that one's better. Huh. Interesting. That one's better than that one. Oh, okay. Maybe it was just saving me from being stupid. Like, don't be stupid. Oh, sorry. It's gonna take a lot of my might away, though. Gonna give me more power and restoration and defense. I think I'm gonna stick with the old ones for now. That one's good. That has a great pair of pants. I haven't got any pistols or anything recently. Can't use that yet. That's fine. Alright, let's go. We'll do stuff. Anyway. So the whole idea is that they're going to make it so that I guess they're going to increase everyone again. That'll be cool. But they're going to modify it so that you want to be focusing on your stats rather than your combat rating, because right now all the mobs, it's basically going back to what it was, but maybe even more intense. Like they've modified it somehow. Oh yeah, and I need to finish up this mission. Journal. No small wonder.
Foolish little Amazons. They think to defy me? Show
them
all what a champion of Circe can do, and hasten my glory.
No, do I have to? I don't really like Circe. Anyway, so yeah, they're gonna have it be more. You're gonna need to focus on your stats to defeat enemies, like it used to be. You know, you want if you're a controller, you want your vitalization to be really high. If you're a healer, you want your restoration to be high. If you're a tank, you want your defense. Wait, what was it? Defense and power? No. Gosh, I can't remember it. I need to get back into tanking again. I haven't played with my tanks in a little while, which kind of sucks. But I'll get back onto that with Frostbreaker and them. But yeah, you're gonna have to start focusing on what's best for your character to do the job, not what your combat rating is, to see if you can get into it. So I'm a big proponent of that because, you know,
my sensors indicate you have strong exobyte gifted powers.
I do!
Why do you fight against me?
Well,
your gifts are gifts from me.
I don't think that's
they
true.
Came from my future technology.
Well, you might have a point,
you
but...
are a child of Brainiac.
No, I'm not.
Do not fight.
Join
your master.
This is
Give
creepy.
me your powers.
No.
Become one with Brainiac.
No, that sounds dirty. Where was I? I'm for this because of, you know, everything I said before, you know. People ask for combat rating, that doesn't matter. Getting your stats to matter, that's what matters. So, yeah. But they're not technically doing away with the combat rating system. I guess that's going to be more for what you can get into. They're probably still going to keep that to make sure you can get into certain instances, like, you know, can you get into this raid? It's not gonna really be based off your stats, it's gonna be based off your combat rating. Your stats are what matters for the actual raid or alert or duo or solo. You know, do you have the stats to do this? Can you?
Well, I may have use for you in the future.
Oh, that's creepy. Yeah. So I'm pretty down with that idea.
X-Corps Agent Respect has an urgent job for you at the Little Bohemian nightclub.
Ooh.
Do you think they choose their code names or pull them out of a hat? Find out, let me know.
Probably pulling him out of a hat. Just gonna throw that in there. Ooh, that's nice. But yeah, talked a lot about a lot of stuff this episode. So let me know what you guys think. Going back to the Flash, what do you think it is? Because we still don't technically know who Zoom is. Could be Hunter Zalman or it could be Jay Garrick. And who do you think the Man in the Mask is? And what do you guys think about getting rid of making combat ratings everyone's focus, you know? Let's go back to stats like it used to be. What do you guys think about that? So let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, why don't you hit that like button? Because it's been cold for a little while and it needs a little warming. And I think your guys' warm, soft hands, silky, soft, sexy hands. Wow, that got really weird really fast. Your hands could make that button just super warm for everyone. Do that for me, guys. And thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.